heat attacks, which stands for highly evasive adaptive threats, are really a collection of tactics, of techniques that attackers are using for their initial access to get into a network, into an endpoint. So as we think about kind of the threat chain, I'll use ransomware as an example. Before you get to infection, before you get to data sealing, before you get to encryption of data, you need to get onto the network. You have to have a point you can get things in and out, tools, data, and that's really what heat attacks are all about. As we think about how organizations protect themselves from malware, that security stack really hasn't changed for about the last 10 years. So if we look at kind of the adoption of technology as a whole, on the network side of things, the sandbox is really probably the last big piece of technology that's been adopted en masse. And that was about a decade ago. So the threat actors have had 10 years to figure out, how do I get through all of the pieces that 90% of the organizations have out there, and they've become really good at it using the heat tactics, and so that's why we're seeing such success for the attackers with heat attacks, and that's why we believe organizations need to be more focused on heat attacks, on that initial access, and preventing threats getting onto their network rather than doing a detect and respond once they're already there. Some of the bigger groups, such as Nobelium, which was the group behind SolarWinds, are actually using heat attacks, and we're seeing this increase massively year over year, purely because of their success and what they're actually able to do. Menlo Security has actually released a set of heat security analysis tools as part of a toolkit. So organizations can actually visit our website. You can actually see and read about what these heat attacks are, what techniques they have, how they work, and then actually test them against your own security. So then an organization will know if they're susceptible, if they got stopped, and we actually then have another tool called our heat analyzer, which will help them establish the size of the problem, the size of the exposure, if they are susceptible to them. So we're trying to make it as easy as possible for organizations to figure out if this is something they need to worry about or something they've already got covered, but we're bringing all that free of charge to our prospects and our customers out there. Infosecurity Europe, this year, it's been really good, first of all, to get face-to-face with everyone that's here and meet people in real life again. I think it's also been great to see a lot of the smaller companies that, after 2 years of being apart, I'm not quite sure who they are, I'm not quite sure what they do, but I think that I should. So it's almost like there's been a book has been written and I haven't started reading it yet, and so this enables me to start reading that book and figure out what I should know and what I need to know as we go forward.